and welcome to another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. I'm finally out at the range. It has been raining almost non-stop the beginning of this summer. Today it's very cloudy. It's probably going to rain later. It's like 75 degrees and like 357.89% humidity. It is awful out here. I've been out here for about 15 minutes. I'm already drenched in sweat. But I have some cool stuff to shoot finally. It's nice enough out here that I don't care. Even if it starts raining, I'm going to keep shooting. I have my Ruger Max 9. And I had talked about possibly buying a Ready Dot for this, so I did actually buy a Ready Dot. It was $69 from a place where you can grab lots of gun accessories online, and with shipping it was 80 bucks to my door. So I have that mounted on the top of my Max 9, and I'm going to start out shooting with some of this Winchester Active Duty 115 grain flat nose. I'm going to do relative accuracy, or at least practical accuracy, shooting at some targets. I have one set up at about 10 yards and one at about 8 yards. And I'm going to shoot with this Winchester Active Duty. Then I have some steel case Tolamo. Then I have some Federal Champion 9mm, and finally some Bellum 9mm, which, if you guys remember, this Bellum stuff has had issues in some of my guns with hard primers. But starting off function testing with the flat nose 115 grain, let's see how we do. Not bad. Going on to the Tolamo steel cased. Can't think today. Then to Federal Champion. And lastly, Bellum. I'll say the Ready Dot, it comes from the factory. It says that it does not need to be adjusted. You really can't adjust anything on it. It bolts on. I think it makes me shoot a little bit low. If I'm staring right at the dot, I shoot low. So, like if I'm aiming at a silhouette target and I'm trying to hit the chest, I'm hitting down in the stomach area. If I want to hit the chest, I'm going to have to aim closer to the head, because if I co-witness, if I look through it at my factory sights, the dot is lollipopping the front sight. So again, if I'm trying to get a quick acquisition with that red dot, I have to put it a couple of inches higher than I want it to be in order to actually hit what I want to hit on my target. So it's pretty good for quick sight acquisition. I think it's going to take me some time to get used to it. Once I get used to it, I should be able to shoot with my eyes open. But again, I've never practiced with a red dot. This is the first one I've ever bought for a pistol. And being that it's not adjustable, I can't change the point of impact or anything with it, so I just need to figure out how it works. But that's the Ruger Max 9. I put a bunch of different ammo through it. It functioned great so far. I think I've put about 80 or 90 rounds through it so far, and I've had zero issues with the gun cycling anything. I've had no jams, no malfunctions on the gun. So far, for the money, this is a pretty good deal. I mean, as it sits, I looked it up, I paid $379 for the gun plus tax, and then I paid 80 bucks for the red dot, so you're looking right around, $460 as it sits right now for a optic ready gun with a red dot on it. That's a really good price, and I think this one might be a winner. The only problem now is the red dot doesn't fit in the holster that I bought for this, so if I want to carry it with the Ready Dot on it, which I'm not sure about yet, but I may. But if I want to carry it with this Ready Dot on the gun, I'm going to have to get a different holster or cut the Kydex around the sight so that this still fits into the holster. But if I have to do that, it's not a big deal. This thing shoots great. Ruger Max 9 with the Ruger Ready Dot. This just captures ambient light. It has this little fiber optic coil, projects a dot on the lens. So far, the Ready Dot's pretty good. It took me a little bit of practice to acquire the dot before I started shooting. Once I acquire the dot in the sight, I can actually hit the targets pretty well. You can co-witness, so if you just co-witness with your regular fiber optic front sight and your standard Ruger factory rear sight, even if the red dot doesn't work, you can still actually see right through it. You can get a pretty good sight picture. So this is definitely something I'm gonna need a little bit of practice on, because I've never had a red dot on a pistol that was mine. So I'm gonna have to practice with this a little bit more. But as far as the function of the gun goes, Ruger Max 9 so far, I've put Talamo through it, some Federal Champion. I have some Bellum and some other brands I'm gonna try through this gun. So let me get to some more shooting. Doing a little bit of target shooting with the Ruger Max 9 with the Ready Dot Ruger Red Dot. It's pretty effective, I'll tell you that. Once I figured out where I need to look to sight down it, it is pretty effective. Well, I can't say I'm that much faster with a Ready Dot than I am with the standard sights on this gun. It's a little bit odd. And maybe it's just because I'm not used to red dots on pistols. I'm still used to looking at the sights. I think I can acquire a target faster using the standard sights on this gun. And maybe it's just something I need to practice as time goes on, being able to grab that. And actually, even underneath the covering that I have here, there's barely enough light to even see that dot, so I'd still need to rely on my factory sights. But this co-witnesses very well with the Ruger Max 9. I think that's what it was actually designed for. I think if I had another gun that had the same cut on it, I could put this on just about any other pistol. But it is non-adjustable. It uses ambient light. There's no battery, so it's simple. But it also may not be the best for all applications. But let's take the Ruger Max 9 back to the house and do a debrief on it. Now I know this video is getting a little bit long, but I really did want to take a look at the Ready Dot and the gun by themselves, not at the range. So the Ready Dot comes in this blister pack with the red dot itself, and if you flip it over, there is a tool and a couple of screws with Loctite on them. If you look at the top of the slide on the Max 9, there is a plate that you have to take off so that you can install the red dot, and it has some locating tabs built into it. So this is what it looks like with the plate off of the gun, and you can see that optics cut right there with the holes already drilled and tapped into it, and there's some locating pins on the front there that you stick the red dot in. This is what it looks like once it's installed on the gun, and you can see that right now that red dot is actually pretty faint. Now this is a 15 MOA red dot, and again it uses a fiber optic coil to collect light and then project the dot into that screen. This is what the fiber optic coil looks like. You can see it looks just like a coil of wire, except it's fiber optics, and again, it's just used to collect light. This is what the Ready Dot looks like when it's bolted onto the slide. It's very minimalistic. It looks fantastic, and for me, I just need to get used to using it. So if I need to get some better light, I can show you what it looks like here using a flashlight. You can see how that dot gets really bright and then really dim based on how much light it's collecting. And again, for me, I've never used a red dot that much on a handgun, so it's not second nature to me yet, but it really is easier to shoot this gun with the Ready Dot with both eyes open, and I hope that I can get proficient at it in the future. Now, I can't tell you if a Ready Dot in a Max 9 is right for you. I strongly urge anyone that's thinking about getting this set up to go out to the store, look at one, look at the Ready Dot, see how it works, and watch as much information as you can online. I mentioned that Hop from TFB TV did a video on this a while ago. It might have been on his personal channel, Hoplophile, but he had some good insight as well, and he came to a similar conclusion that I did. It's ample for what it is. It's okay for quick site acquisition, and it works pretty well out of the box. You don't have to adjust it, and you can't adjust it. But the jury is still out on this one as to whether or not it's the perfect red dot for me. And again, you can only make up your mind if it's right for you. Thanks for watching.